Even know the name of my band. Fuck this goddamn movie! Oh my god! Remember that video I made back in fucking February? Saying, oh, this looks really good, this looks great, I can't wait for this. Yeah. Go back in time, right? To February 2025 and slap myself in the fucking face for saying that. Because I saw this goddamn movie last night. Or yesterday, not last night. Yesterday, alright? And oh my god, this, I don't care what anyone fucking says. This, in my opinion, is easily the worst Jurassic World film. Like, this is so fucking bad. Like, it is the worst movie of 2025 for me. Um, I enjoy all the Jurassic Park films. Yeah, even Dominion and Fallen Kingdom. Yeah, I know. But even though they were pretty bad, they were entertaining and they were fun and I enjoyed them. I'd seen the three previous Jurassic World films in the cinema. 2015, 2018, 2020, 2022. Sorry. And as I mentioned in my review of The Lost World there 3 years ago, I went to go see Dominion. I was going to go see Dominion with my ex girlfriend, who's not I'm not with anymore. So I ended up going with I went with her at the time. I ended up going um to see the newest film with three of my friends. One which has actually been on the channel before, a British friend, and I saw it and I fucking hated it. The plot of Jurassic World Rebirth, my ass, as Cody Leach said, is you got this woman played by Scarlett Johansson, um, and she's essentially, you know, this woman, businesswoman, fucking researcher, whatever the fuck you want to call her, scientist. I fucking don't think so, but anyway, whatever. Gonna in a suit, whatever, and essentially talks to this guy played by Rupert Everett, who's actually one of the better things about this film. Um, and he's kind of offering her, oh, we could, about this thing, about doing this kind of like research and getting these kind of rare dinosaur samples or whatever to make money, essentially. Literally. She even fucking says that at one point. I'm like, oh my god. So the two of them end up being like, oh, we should go to this place. They get this guy who's in a museum who's like, you know, studying, doing whatever, who like looks up at these different things, like kind of does like different research or whatever. And he doesn't want to go to the island. This island, they're like, oh, we should go to this island to get these dinosaur samples, right? Which I'm assuming is the original island. It doesn't actually really say it in the movie. Um, it said it in the trailer. Line's not in the film. So they end up going to want to get this guy called Duncan, played by Mahershala Ali. They convince him to go. So they're all like, oh, we'll go on a boat, and they get a few other researchers. One actually played by the guy from Deadpool, the guy that played Francis, who would have also been a perfect villain in this film, wasn't in it. So they go on this boat, whatever, to try and get this thing. They're like talking about, oh, we're gonna get this research, blah, 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 whatever. And then, we see this family, right? This father, sorry, father, daughter's boyfriend, who is the fucking worst character in the fucking whole franchise, by the way. Xavier. Why the fuck didn't he die in this film? Every scene he was in, I wanted to fucking strangle him to death. Okay? Not the actor. Actor done a good job. So if people want to take that out of context, fuck off, you cunt. Okay? Sorry, that was a bit much. Oh, sorry. Anyway, that was a bit much. Anyway, and his daughter, and they're sailing like a bunch of fucking idiots, right? And then this big fucking dinosaur ends up trying to fucking attack them, and they end up stranded, and then they end up saving them. And rather than like, oh my god, this person's life is at risk, they still go to the fucking island, right? Something ends up happening. The crash ends up happening. They crash at the island, because why not? They go whatever. The family are separated, and then the dinosaurs are going after them, and the rest of them are separated, and the dinosaurs are also going after Them people die. They try to get the samples. They go, oh my god, this is so amazing! Like the fucking 50th time, trying to recapture the magic that the original had, but are never gonna actually recapture it because the original is a fucking masterpiece, and this sucked. Okay. Anyway, uh, as it's going on, people are getting killed off one by one. Shit goes sideways. Get samples. They go off. Whatever. I hate this fucking film. Oh my god, this movie is bad. And I know there's people out there saying, "Oh, it's shit, but it's not as bad as the last two." I actually haven't seen Matthew's review of this. I'm assuming he didn't like it. Um, but no, I have to be honest about something, right? The last two technically might have been worse, but you want to know something that the last two weren't? Were boring. The last two, in my opinion, right, are watchable, fun movies that are not boring, right? And I actually think some of the humor, for the most part, actually lands, right? Whereas in this film, none of the jokes land. I I also think that the writing wasn't great in the other ones, but some of the dialogue was fine. But this one, holy fuck, the dialogue is horrendous, right? Let's get into a bunch of the scenes. First of all, right, the opening of the fucking movie is terrible, right? We get people in a fucking lab, they're doing all this fucking research, right? Oh, doing this, that, the other, talking fucking research. Oh, you gotta put this in here, all the dialogue. Oh, you gotta do this, that, the other, whatever. And then, I believe there's actually some subtitle scenes, which is fine. Or is that later on in the film? I think it's later on in the film. Anyway, um, we then have they're doing this research, like, oh yeah, whatever. Opens the thing up, like, oh my god, the T Rex is out, the T Rex is out, what the hell? And they're running, right? And it's all this fucking, they're like, the alarms are going off. And I will admit, like, aesthetically, it's cool and some good camera angles, right? But before that happens, a fucking Snickers wrapper comes and blows in the guy's face. And I remember when I saw that, right? I went, oh, fuck. This is a bad sign, right? um, I was like, this is fucking stupid. Like, and they're running away, right? And there's these kind of like things happening. And okay, they brought a little bit of that horror element back that was in the original film. Um, you know, but as the guy's running, there's people getting pulled off left and right, and kind of like fucking all this fall is coming or whatever. Dinosaur comes out, they all die, and you hear the music, and they're like, ah, and they all get fucking killed, right? Then you get the fucking title coming up, with the logo. Okay, cool logo. Opening scene is just has some good things in it, like how some of the people are killed, but for the most part, it's just fucking shit, right? So it's just bad, right? Other thing, Xavier. Fuck me. This character got on my goddamn nerves. And it's, my friend said it to me, right? Four of my mates with me, right? Three of us fucking hated it. One of us said, it was okay, right? My friend, right? I'm not actually joking, right? I saw this with my friend, right? With my friends. Four of us were there, right? One of the friends I seen it with was the guy I saw Final Destination Bloodlines with, right? Who was laughing at that. We walked out of this film, right? I was in the middle, and I hate doing this in movies, right? I don't like saying that I hate the movie while watching it in front of people, but this was so fucking boring and tedious that I was like, I actually can't take this. This is boring, right? And my friend was like, oh my god, like halfway through it. And I turned to him and I was laughing and I went, this is so fucking shit. And he goes, yeah, I know. And he turns around and goes, and I swear, halfway through the movie, there was about half an hour left, right? He goes, I'm gonna step outside for a second. He literally left the fucking theatre, went across the road to the pub that is across the road from it, had a fucking drink, waited till the movie was over, came back, and we hung out for the rest of the day. I fucking died of laughter. I thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever. He messaged me, look, I'm just in the pub. I actually cannot handle that film anymore. I was like, yeah. Um, but yeah, so That's the first thing. Like Xavier, onto him. He sucked, right? The moment you see him, you have this kind of like boat little thing, and this the father was there and he's talking to his daughters or whatever. It's like, "Gee, this is great, yeah. You like being out here and all," and they're kind of like, yeah, and they're just kind of bickering back and forth. And he's like, "Oh, can you go and get your boyfriend?" He's like, "Oh, Xavier." It's like, "Yeah, can you go get him and all that?" Like it's his turn to stare. It's like, "Really, Dad?" And he gets up, wakes him up, or whatever, comes up, and he's all fucking talking to him like, "Oh, hey Pop, oh, I'm really tired. Can you just stare at or whatever?" It's like, "No, it's your turn to stare." It's like, "No, I'm just really really tired. I have not a lot to do." And I was just like, "What is the point of this? What is the fucking point of this scene? What is the point?" And they're just bickering back and forth about, "Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm not. Oh, you got to stare. Blah 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 blah." Right? And then he goes he's like, "You take it." It's like, "Fine." And she's like, "Right, that's great." And then she's all like, he's like, "I don't know what you see in him. He's a fucking idiot." Blah 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 blah. Right? Then she's all she's all like, what's it? She's all like, "You just haven't seen the side of him that I've seen." And the little girl goes, "Oh, the naked side," which I will admit, okay, that line did get a laugh at me. I will admit that was actually funny. But as it's going on, they're just bickering back and forth. Like, come on, we're meant to have a nice family day out, guys. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, how many times have we seen this in a fucking movie? Come on, your mother had to take us out. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh my god, right? So Xavier goes down, right? They see something, they're like, "What is that?" And you see in the distance, and you're like, it's one of those fucking dinosaur things, right? Like that are in the fucking that are in the river or whatever. And okay, I will say that this scene was actually kind of cool, and it actually was one of the kind of more suspenseful things, because the build up and tension that was there, and then out of nowhere, they're like, "What is that?" And then bang, fucking thing comes and it's trying to eat them, and it's like fucking, and the boat is like tipped over and they're underwater. They're like, "What's happening?" and all that, and they're trying, like, it's trying to get at them and stuff and all that. And she's like, Xavier's in there, blah blah blah, and he's like, "Right, I'll go get him." And he tries to go and save him, and he's like, "Break it open." And he's like, "Xavier." And I was thinking, yes, kill him, and he's there drowning, right? And he's like, "Go get the first aid kit." And actually, at first, I actually thought the dad was gonna let him die. I was like, "Oh my god, yes." He's like, go get it," and he's there trying to get it, and he doesn't get it, whatever. Anyway, he ends up getting fucking saved. Unfortunately, the daughter almost dies, and then they're like, "Oh, what's happening?" And they're on the boat. And then they're like, "Hey, come here," because they end up seeing a boat. They're like, "Oh my god, there's a boat over there." And the boat ends up coming, and it happens to be the main characters. And they're brought in. And, you know, they're just kind of like talking, like, "Oh, we were on this boat, we were on a family day out. And then this massive thing came and attacked us." It's like, "Yeah, it was crazy, whatever. It was insane. Almost died." And then Xavier's just dropping some stuff. He's like, "Damn, what were you doing?" And then they're all kind of like, "That's insane." And then he's like, "Yeah, we have to, thanks for saving us." And then they're like, "Oh my god, that's insane. What was it that attacked you?" And they're like, "Oh, it was this kind of thing." And they say what type of dinosaur it was. And Mahershala Ali actually says, "What the fuck were you like?" What he's like, "What were you doing?" Or was it him or was it Rupert Everett? "What were you doing with a bunch of kids out here anyway?" You know. I was like, "Yeah, it's a very," and the British goes, "Yeah, it's a really ridiculous thing to do." Like. And he's like, "No." He's like, "We were just going out." And he's like, "Yeah, but you know what? There's dinosaurs out in the river or whatever." And he goes, "I know, but we have to take our chances. People die every day." I'm like, "Oh my god." And you see, like, this is the other thing about the film, right? The pacing, right? First of all, the pacing is awful, right? It's really fucking slow. Like, the slower moments in the other films are so enjoyable, right? But here they're not, right? You do get some decent scenes, like some decent shots of, like, when the island is there and you see the camera moving towards it, like, and the plane kind of flying towards it and whatever. And they try to have some good character moments. Like, there's a lot of scenes on the boat. There's a lot of scenes of the characters just kind of talking back and forth on the boat. "Oh yeah, blah, blah," laughing like, "Oh yeah, that's cool," blah 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 blah. Just like having banter with each other. saying, oh, we have to do this, we're going to go get the samples, do this, that, and the other to get them this way, or whatever. There's a lot of that kind of fucking exposition. They're all on the boat fucking talking about what they're going to do, what the plan's going to be. It's like, oh, is there going to be dinosaurs? Like, I really would rather not die. You know, the guy with the glasses says that. And you've got this other woman, and then you have this, the guy from Deadpool who's acting like a dick and saying all this dickish stuff. But yet, like, he's not actually the villain, but they also set it up like he's going to be the villain. And it's like, man, he says something really dick. He's like, man, he's just not nice or whatever. I mean, even though I knew Rupert Everett was going to be the villain, of course, but they're all kind of just saying what they're going to do on the island and the samples they're going to get, and then they're also having banter with each other and having banter on the boat, and there's even times where they're playing music and drinking beer, you know. There's even and just talking. There's even a moment where she's kind of Scarlett Johansson's kind of there in the room looking at something, and then like even is there a moment where she's looking at a photo? I don't know. Even a moment where she's all like you hear the song "Ain't Nobody Loves Me Better," which I'm like, I didn't think I'd fucking hear that in a. Or is that the song? Is that the song that I hear? No, I don't think that's the song I hear. I can't remember. There's some song anyway that had like a remix, modern remix. Um, and you just hear it, and you're just kind of like, oh my fucking god! Like in a Jurassic World film, it's only a little nitpick, really. It's not like a fucking really a big deal. It doesn't fully ruin the film, but there is actually a decent moment that's also ruined by a fucking bad joke. But like where Mahershala Ali and Scarlett Johansson are sitting on the boat talking back and forth, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't even go to my own, like, you know, they're just talking, oh, are we gonna do this research and all this other stuff?" And she goes, "Oh, I didn't even go to my mother's funeral or whatever." It's like, what? That's the worst thing you could ever do. Oh, that's like nothing worse. But he says it in a jokey way, where he's kind of like, in a way, telling her not to be hard on himself. So the scene is like, it's well done in the fact that like it's a nice character moment, and they talk for a while and that or whatever, and it's a nice character moment. But it's still cringe as well. It's like the pacing of the film, as I said, it's so fucking slow. They're on the boat for a while as well at the first chunk of it. Like, it actually takes them a while to get to the fucking island. Like, they're all like, oh, let's go, set sail. They're talking before they get on the boat. They get on the fucking boat. There's a bunch of dialogue scenes of them fucking talking on the boat and having banter and saying what they're going to do. It's like, oh, we need to get these dinosaur samples, so we got to sell them and get money. You know, we're going to get rich from it. And I'm like, these are the characters we have to like. It's like, because I want to get money, and I, you know, she's like, oh, I don't like the sound of me not getting money. That doesn't, I don't like that, you know. And I'm just kind of like, at one point she says that, or whatever, and she's like, as long as I can get money from it. And I'm like, this is the character we're meant to like. Fucking hell. She is a money grubbing bitch. The characters in this movie, besides Mahershala Ali, right, and maybe Rupert Everett, are the only characters I actually gave a shit about. Because Rupert Everett, right, he's a good villain, right, and Mahershala Ali is the only likable fucking character in this movie, and he even outright makes fun of Scarlett Johansson's character for not fucking going to her mother's funeral, and yeah, he's still more likable. You know what I mean? Um, so that's fucking whatever. You know, they're just going through the plan, and there's a good chunk of them on the boat, inside the boat, looking out, talking at the end of the boat, and then when they pick up the family, you know, and then obviously there's a whole fucking sequence where like they're being attacked or something, or I can't remember if it was wind or something, or fucking something tries to attack them. They're like, what is that? Yeah, something tries to attack them, right? It's the thing, and they're like, oh god, grab the thing. And okay, admittedly, it is a tense sequence, right? There's shit falling, like, oh god, and then the fucking thing comes out, tries to grab her, and then Scarlett Johansson's running. She's like, oh my god, and then she tries to shoot the fucking thing, and it's like falling, and it goes on for a while. This like action sequence, and this fucking big fucking whatever the fuck kind of dinosaur it was trying to attack them, and then slipping, and all this other crazy shit goes on, and it's a good like action sequence, and the guy with the glasses is freaking out, Mahershala Ali, all of them like, oh my god, grab the thing, and then the little girl's there, and she almost falls off, and they catch her. Um, then there's the moment where Rupert Everett is like where the girl's trying to call for backup, like, oh, help, help, we got help, and then Rupert Everett's like, no, what are you doing? It's like, we have to call for help. It's like, he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that, and he's kind of like, I can't call for help. It's like, are you crazy? We need to call for help, right? And then eventually she falls over, and he literally tries to kick her off, and she falls in the water. Then Xavier does do the one thing in the film that I actually did like, right? He jumps in to try save her, swims, and they're like, someone aboard, and they're like, the father's freaking out over his daughter, like, oh my god, save her, and he's like, oh my god, like, someone's aboard, save her, and then he jumps out, it's like, and you get a good shot of, her kind of nearly drowning, and she's like, oh, aboard, she's gone, she's fucking, not safe, she's nearly drowning, whatever the fuck he says. And he goes in to try and save her, and he does, and brings her back. And then they all end up on the island at different parts of it. And then they're all just bickering, oh, how do we get her back, blah, 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 whatever. And then they're like, at one point, they're like, oh, let's split up. I'm like, oh my fucking God. Oh, actually, no, that's later on in the film. And actually, it did make sense. But, yeah, a good chunk of the film it took to get to the fucking island, right? So they're walking through the fucking forest, bickering back and forth. They're like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do the other. They're bickering back and forth. They're walking through the forest. They're seeing things. They're like, what's that noise? What's that noise? Blah, blah, blah. They're just cracking jokes constantly, walking through the rivers, walking through all these different places, just consistently, uh, and figuring out, okay, we have to go here, we have to get these samples, and then they even go at one point, right, when they get on the island, they're like, oh, where are we gonna look for the family? Like, we have to go look for them, and Scarlett Johansson's like, look, they'll be fine. I want to go, and like the samples aren't going anywhere by themselves, and I want that money. I'm like, yeah, and I was sitting there going, we're meant to fucking like this cunt. Sorry, I shouldn't say the C word about this, but I cannot help it. What the fuck? We're meant to like this bitch. I'm like, oh my god, right? So, going through the forest, going through water, just fucking dialogue, they're all kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, it's Predator, except the difference is Predator is an actual good movie, right? And then there's many moments, right, where the guy with the glasses and Scarlett Johansson are on the boat, talking to each other, flirting, right? They're like, oh yeah, they're just flirting with each other on the boat, flirting with each other on the island, flirting with each other in the museum throughout the whole fucking movie. And they never get together. It's never touched upon because obviously they want to make fucking more. Right? So that's another thing. They build up something that's not fucking there. There's another part in the movie where the fucking father is being attacked by a dinosaur and the girls are there and running, and it's like, oh, your mother will never let me have you for a weekend again. Okay, so just throw a little divorce subplot out of nowhere that never comes back. The Tommy Wiseau come in and fucking write that, oh, I need this, that twist. Like, what the fuck was the point? Like, so there was that. I'm going all over the place, right? So, these dialogue scenes where the characters are just walking around in the fucking forest, where you get some nice shots, and you do get some nice shots of the island, or whatever, doing nothing, right? Doing nothing are literally filler. And not only are they filler, right? Not only are they filler, but they are like fucking boring. There's just cracking shitty jokes. There's nothing funny in the goddamn film at all. Well, no, I wouldn't say there's nothing funny, but like there's, sorry, I got distracted there. There's just filler. I'm like, what is the fucking point? Takes a while to even see a fucking T-Rex. You see the dinosaurs flying around and stuff. Um, so what else was I gonna say? There's a moment then uh when they're on the boat, you do see the fucking dinosaurs in the water or whatever, and she goes, "What the hell are those?" And there's another part where another character goes, "What are those?" And another character goes, "What are those?" I'm like, "Oh my god, three fucking uses of that dialogue." And I'm also like Scarlett Johansson. I'm kind of thinking she's not really a. I don't know if she's even a fucking dinosaur expert in it. You know, the opening scene, right? Like, it's in a city. You get a kind of cool shot of the city, admittedly, right? And they show, oh, whatever, present day. And even the opening scene, right, where you see the scientist and you get some shots, whatever, it says 17 years ago. I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Um, but it's still canon with the other movies, right? Because there's a moment where they're in the forest and they're talking about something and like, oh, what was your thing? What do you do? Blah blah blah. They're kind of bonding. Oh, what is this? What's your deal? Blah blah blah. Whatever. And um, you know, he's like, oh, I worked with Alan Grant for a while. I was his thing. I'm like, okay, so he got a name drop. Too bad none of those characters are in the fucking movie. Well, I feel bad for Sam Neill because unfortunately he has blood cancer, and Ian Malcolm would have been great. Oh, like if Ian Malcolm was in this, it would have been so much more watchable. Like he was. That's why Dominion I can watch. You had the original cast in there, and Ian Malcolm was fucking hilarious in that film. Oh, let's try to remain positive. He was funny, but anyway, the other thing is right during that scene. Actually, I forgot to mention this, where the boat is there, like oh whatever. The British guy is kind of being a dick on the boat throughout the films. I don't think it's a good idea. You know what I mean? No. I'm not making fun of British people, by the way. My friend is British, right? He was right. He was with me. So as the boat is kind of tilting over, they're like, "No!" And the fucking guy gets eaten. Like, oh, he's like, "No, oh my god, no!" And then he gets fucking eaten and killed. Right now, obviously, it's sad when someone dies, right? But the guy was unlikable, and the way Scarlett Johansson goes, "No!" and he gets eaten or whatever, right? Is indicating that they were close when they weren't. They were talking in the movie when he first brings on. It's like, oh, this is whatever. He's like, oh, I'll be on this with you, and they introduce you to all the characters. I'll be on this thing with you. I'll be on it, and you assume that they're going to be in it for a good chunk of it. And then the girl is on the boat, and she ends up getting eaten, bang, and someone else ends up getting fucking eaten, and and it all is always cool when that fucking thing jumps out of the water, right? And you have the moment before they get on the boat talking or whatever, and they have that no one's dumb enough to go where we're going line, which is stupid. And I'm like, yeah, it's so dumb. Um, but anyway, you have that moment where they're walking through the grass, right? And they're like, what are those things? And then you see all these kind of dinosaurs walking, like, oh my god, this is amazing. And they're all doing this with their tails. They're like, whoa, and they're all kind of looking around, right? And you hear the John Williams score again. And the scene goes on for a while and they're all getting emotional, like, oh my god, these dinosaurs are amazing. And they walk off or whatever. And I'm like, and that goes on for a while, this scene. I'm like, these dinosaurs are amazing. I'm just thinking, it's really fucking sad because that music that John Williams composed is amazing. That scene in the original Jurassic Park is fucking amazing. It is one of the best scenes in cinematic history. It's probably the best scene ever in the Jurassic Park franchise. Not ever, of all time. And like so they have this iconic music playing, right? And like in the original film it's like so amazing and mind blowing. And this is just like, oh my god, this should be in a better film. But anyway, um there's moments where they're kind of walking around and dinosaurs try to attack them, like, oh, they're running, and fucking raptors, I think, try to attack them, and then fucking flying fucking pterodactyls try to get them, and then I think a T Rex at one point, like, and it's obviously going and fucking trying to get at them, and they see other ones and they're running away, and it's trying to fucking be at them and trying to get them and all this other shit. And then they're like, and they're running and running and running, and you get a lot of scenes of them running in the woods and running away, and then they're all trying to go, and then there's even a point where like the dinosaurs are kind of, some of them are like running in herds. They do run in herds, and then you have one with the leaf eater, right? And I swear to God, they pan up to it, and the CGI doesn't look finished. It actually looks, the CGI in Jurassic Park fucking 3 was better, right? And you know what? That's an underrated film. I actually love that one. The CGI in the original was better, and that came out in 1993. This came out in 2025, okay? And they said, oh, the dinosaurs have been around for 32 years. Oh, great, yeah. Yeah. But, anyway, go back. The scene at the beginning in the city, right? They kept the canon with the other ones because the dinosaurs are out in public still, which is fucking, that is one thing that the other movies introduced that is so fucking stupid, right? But anyway, you have the leaf eater, like, oh, get out of the way, you know, and he's blocking the place. And then Rupert Everett's there, like, oh, this stupid, he doesn't say fuck, he goes, this stupid dinosaur, oh, it's whatever. And then Scarlett Johansson says, oh, that's cruel, even for you. And then they're having this dialogue in the car, and she's like, oh, yeah, I lost someone recently, I lost my mother, or whatever, I know. And they're kind of talking, oh, sorry to hear that. And they're talking, and she's trying to convince them, and there's this really boring dialogue scene between them. Then they go to the museum, and they're talking, like, oh, this is what this place is, and they're just fucking bickering back and forth, and the scene goes on for a while, and you see like they're trying to open up this thing again. You see the banner that's like basically the same as the original, and then they talk to this other guy, and he's like, yeah, so we're gonna get a team, we're gonna get a research team together to get all these samples. I'm thinking, oh, we've never seen this before, only 6 other fucking times, you know. And he's like, we're gonna need you there. He's like, why would I be there? Why would I go? I want to stay here. I don't he's like, I don't want to go there. I want to I just want to stay here to do the research, and they're just talking or whatever, and they're like, I have someone in mind who can come and help us, and then they end up going, and that dialogue scene in the museum goes on for a while, and there is moments where they're looking at bones or whatever. Then they go to the fucking Mahershala Ali, and he's kind of doing this gambling thing or whatever, and playing with this person, and then they go, and there's this whole dialogue exchange between them, and you get the sense that her and Scarlett Johansson are close. Like, oh, do you want to come to this? And he's kind of whatever at first, then he ends up going, then they meet the British dude, and then there's the whole fucking scene, right? The British guy, I swear to God, he is set up as the villain, and he dies so quickly. He's like, oh, is this meant to be the part where they're on the boat? Is like, is this meant to be the part where you say it's like, I don't know why we're going with these dinosaurs, like they're just things or whatever. And the guy with glasses looks at him, and obviously he doesn't want to get eaten, but he also kind of indicates that he doesn't like dinosaurs. He goes, and the British guy goes, what is it? Are you going to tell me it's a sin? Are you going to tell me this is the part where it's wrong to kill dinosaurs? He's like, no, this is the part where I say it's a sin to kill a dinosaur. It's awful. It's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And I'm like, Ian Malcolm is right. Just fucking kill these fuckers. Like, seriously, this is the 7th goddamn incident. More off screen, if you think about it, with the fucking lab at the beginning, right? Anyway, the moments with Scarlett Johansson and all the characters running away from fucking T-Rexes and all that, it's like, oh, whatever. And even some of these action sequences, some of them are fun, and some of them just are not exciting at all. There's also the moment where they're climbing up a hill at the edge of a cliff, like, oh, we gotta go on this thing, and like tie ropes to here and go down, and Rupert Everett's being a prick, and there's even a moment where she goes, did you push that girl off the boat? And he's like, no, why would I do that? That's a horrible thing, or whatever. And he's kind of like, why would I do that? Puts the glasses on, and it's just like, okay, yeah, he's just unlikable, fuck him, you know what I mean? But anyway, they're on the cliff, they're like, oh, we gotta go down. And they're like, a fall from this height would be lethal, so you don't want to fall because you'll die. It's like, oh yeah, that's not really helping. So they're all going down, right? And there is actually a cool cinematic shot of like the guy kind of going down and the camera pans a certain way looking down as he's going down. But then pterodactyls come and try to get them, and it's like, oh shit, and they're trying to eat them, and they're like, oh god, and they almost fall, and then they're running. And then like there is different parts where like raptors are trying to get them, and then the T Rexes and all that, and other dinosaurs, and are running through, and they also have a flare at day as well. Um, you know, and then like when it come to like the finale of the film, it's at night. They go to this kind of research lab. They're looking through it, like, oh my god, this is that and the other, and they're looking through it and all these other things, and they're getting all these samples or whatever. Um, I'm trying to think, did they have the animated thing from the first one? I can't remember, but anyway, then you have like more people. I think there, and then you have they meet up with the family, like, oh my god, or whatever. It's great to see us again. Um, and then the girl's like, you, and runs after the guy. Rupert Everett's like, you tried to kill me. He's like, what? He's like, what? You, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna do something. It's like, okay, just calm down. And that something is homicide. I'm like, oh my god, this fucking dialogue, right? And then the whole fucking sequence, he's like, you said you didn't do that. It's like, I didn't push her over the edge. Like, yes, you did, and I think someone punches him. And like, you didn't push her over the edge, and he's like, I want these samples or whatever. And then there's a whole fucking finale where they're in this place, and T Rex comes and like, trying to eat them, and all trying to eat them and eat them and eat them, and they're running away. They're like, come on, they're hiding under the car, and the fucking T Rex, bang! I'm like, oh, I've never seen that before. There's a part where a girl runs in the store, running away. There's the suspenseful scene, the raptors coming in, and she goes in to hide in the place, and I'm like, how many fucking times have we seen this? I know you have to hide from dinosaurs, but like, just do something different. And even it did do some things different, like with the setup and it taking a while to get to the island, but it wasn't good. It still wasn't good. It was just boring, right? And then the girl is there, little girl's there almost getting eaten, and there's that shot that's in the trailer of her looking, and then there's the fucking dinosaurs trying to attack her, the raptors or whatever, you know, and they're like, come on, and Mahershala Ali is running and shooting, and she's like running like, come on, we gotta go this way, and then leading a flare and fucking shooting, and she keeps going, Duncan, don't, Duncan, and she's going like, come on, I'll do this, and Duncan tries to go and be the hero, and he's like, Duncan, don't, Duncan, don't, Duncan, and all that, and then whatever. The T Rex tries to attack, and then there's two T Rexes fighting, and the dinosaur fighting, and the whole finale, dinosaurs are just trying to attack them left, right, and center, and they're all fucking like, trying to, oh, come on, guys, we gotta split up, and they run away, and they're like, oh, over here, trying to distract them, and they're like, we gotta split up, and the dinosaurs are trying to get them, and all. Eventually, Rupert Everett is there. I think I think he like grabs Scarlett Johansson or something. Was like, shut up or whatever. And is there arguing with her. They get in advance, like, you're gonna have to trust me. They get in a fucking Jeep drive. You're gonna have to trust me, whatever. Then the fucking dinosaur comes. She goes under the thing. Rupert Everett is there. Dinosaur tries to eat him. Picks him up. He falls. Whatever. Flies off. Falls. Eventually he runs. Dinosaur eats them. He gets eaten, of course, but of course two of them have to fucking eat him. Rip him in half, eat him, whatever. Two T Rexes. I'm like, of course, yeah. We get this whole action sequence. Eventually, they all come together, get away, get samples, get the dinosaurs, escape them. Eventually, the dinosaurs attack and then just walk off. Which, it's such a fucking shitty finale. Like, it's just stuff we've seen before. Like, there's a whole abandoned shop. Like, oh, what are we gonna go in here? And they're going in to get like a fucking some food, and I think you see some Snickers bars in it. And the dinosaurs kind of attack, and it's just, there's nothing suspenseful about it. And also the line, "Please don't tell me they're raptors. They're raptors," isn't even in the fucking movie. Um, and you get dialogue between the guy with the glasses, Mahershala Ali, Scarlett Johansson. See, Duncan, Scarlett Johansson. The characters are so fucking forgettable. and also the family. And then you have Xavier, who almost gets eaten, and he doesn't even fucking die, you know. But anyway, it all ends. They're like, come on, let's go. And I was thinking, Jesus, is this still going on? And they're like, okay, we got to bring these samples back. Then they go off home, I think, on the boat, or they just go off, and then the thing pops up, directed by, but the movie's still going while you see the directed by thing. And you hear the and I'm just like, this movie's terrible. Like, I swear to God, right? The movie's so boring. Like I think that's the thing. It's really badly paced, right? And there's the sequences, like, it's really badly paced, right? Badly paced. It's boring, right? The characters are unlikable except for Duncan, right? A lot of the no-named actors are really, really bad. Other than, like, Scarlett Johansson's good in the movie, but, like, she's not likable. Mahershala Ali is the best character, and I honestly think he should be the lead if they do more. I won't be seeing the other two, I don't think. And Rupert Everett is good as the villain, but at the same time, he's also just the fucking same villain we got in Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, and even the original movie and the second film and fucking the first Jurassic World. You know, Vincent D'Onofrio's character. He's the same fucking character. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But it's badly paced as well. Like, it's not like, it's badly paced, right? Um, the editing is terrible. Action sequence is terrible. CGI is awful on some of the dinosaurs. I don't think there might be moments. There is moments where there is, like, a dinosaur on the ground and it's practical or whatever. There's moments, like, because this little girl gets a little pet dinosaur. It's like, you'll be safe here, and the dinosaurs are trying to attack. It's like, come on, you'll be safe, and she's trying to keep this little fucking dinosaur safe, which is kind of cute, but whatever. And there is moments where they're looking at dinosaurs and they are clearly, like, practical puppets or practical effect animatronics, right? But I don't. And maybe there's one moment with a T Rex, but I don't think the T Rex is a animatronic. You know what I mean? But I like that, the girl's like, come on, and she's in the bag and she's a dinosaur and she's kind of running away. But when you have moments with, like, the father and all that in the woods, like, there's a moment I think where they, like, start a campfire sitting down, and he's like, Xavier's like, oh, do you want to sleep while I have a rest? And he's like, um, and he's like, oh, no, no, you're good. He's like, no, 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 it's okay. It's like, yeah. And then they have, like, a moment where they're talking, and she's like, you know what? I really appreciate what you did there. You saved her, which, I mean, it's kind of character development. It's like, yeah, I know. I don't know how she puts up with me. He's like, oh, no, I think you're a good man. He's like, no. He's like, look, it's like, I wasn't fond of you at first. He's like, no, look, I get it. I'm lazy as hell, but I don't know why she puts up with me and all this. I'm like, yeah, I'm the same. Because you're fucking annoying. And they try and make you feel sorry for her. It's like, I'm not that good. It's like, no, you're okay. I'm like, okay, so he's just insecure out of nowhere, and it goes nowhere. Then there's the moment where he's like, okay, guys, and they're walking around, and he has to go for a piss, and then there's dinosaurs behind him, and he's kind of looking around or whatever, and he's just pissing, or, like, before he pisses or whatever, and then the dinosaurs are like, oh shit, and they attack him, and he runs off, and then he does piss, and then there's moments where they're kind of walking around talking or whatever, and then the fucking pterodactyls are coming at them like, oh god, and they're running away. And then obviously he's there standing there, and then the raptors are trying to come at him, and he's trying to run away from the raptors. There's moments where they're on a boat, a little, like, blow up boat. They see T Rex, like, oh my god, they're running away from the T Rex. He's trying to get them. It's like, oh god, And then you have that shot that's in the trailer, the T Rex kind of just walking, and he goes and he ends up roaring or whatever. And then there's two T Rexes in the boat end up roaring, and then they're on this fucking boat, and you get to see it like, oh my god, run! And then the dinosaur is, like, trying to fucking eat them, and, like, oh my god, he's trying to get them, and they're like, what the hell? And he's trying to eat the fucking floaty boat, and they think they eat the little girl, and she's all like, they're all like, oh my god, no, oh my god, and you're just laughing or whatever, and then she's alive, oh my god, thank god. He's like, I'm over here, and he's trying to attack, dinosaurs trying to attack them and roaring, and then fucking, he's kind of, the guy father goes underwater, and you see the dinosaur kind of go for him as well. And dinosaur ends up eating the fucking boat, and you're like, Jesus Christ. And I think the dinosaurs end up fighting. They run away from the T Rex. And then there's the moment where they're just talking, oh, we have to go, we have to find a way back, we have to get off this island, whatever. And then he's being annoying, and he's like, thanks for what you did back there, I really appreciate it. And he's like, yeah, whatever, pops. And she's like, it's really hard to like him. She's like, yeah, I found that at the beginning as well. As they're walking, they find the little dinosaur. It's like, oh my god, it's cute. It's like, don't pick that thing up. And he's just like, no. It's like, no, he's cute. Come on. And she brings the little dinosaur with her, or whatever. And it's like, you hungry, and feeds him. It's like, I don't think that's a good idea. And then there's moments where the dinosaurs fucking run after him, and all that. And she keeps this little baby dinosaur. And a lot of it's like, oh, pterodactyls coming at them, and raptors, and fucking T-Rex, and just, it's bad when you're bored during the action scenes. Like, some of them are good, but a lot of them are bad. I just wasn't impressed by this film. And I mean, look, the director of this movie directed Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which I fucking hate. He did do the original, not the original, the 2014 Godzilla, which I loved. And it's like, it's one of those kind of things where it's like, he's done a kind of movie about monsters, and obviously these are dinosaurs. Why wouldn't I enjoy it? But also, right, and this is the other thing, getting into the finale as well, right? Thing I forgot to mention, the fucking mutant dinosaur is fucking stupid. They're like, oh my god, there's this thing, it's mutated or whatever. And in the finale, right, all the characters are running away, and they're like, what is that thing? And then big fucking mutant dinosaur there, and it's trying to get them and trying to eat them, and it does eat them. And I think that's the one that ends up eating Rupert Everett, and he's like, and they're fighting him, and he's there trying to attack them, and they're like, come on, split up, and they're all at him, and then I think he ends up eating Rupert Everett, and you see him at the mutant dinosaur at the start of the film, and then near the end of it in the finale, it's attacking and just doing loads of crazy shit, and you see the fucking, they're like lighting the flare, and you see the fucking lighting, and throughout the whole finale, it's trying to attack them, and at the start of the film as well. And it's just stupid. It looks like a fucking xenomorph from Alien, except shit. And it's like, I know that there's fantasy elements in these movies, right? But this is like another level of stupid. Like, I mean, it was actually just as bad as in Fallen Kingdom when they said the girl was a clone, and then they try and undo it in Dominion. But yeah, the mutant dinosaur thing was just so dumb. And trying to attack them, and I'm like, God, I wouldn't have thought that in a Jurassic Park film even 10 years ago. But anyway, I can't remember if they named the Jurassic Park thing, or if we see a Jurassic Park t-shirt or anything. They do show footage, and we do actually see, I think, the Jurassic World logo on Island or whatever. But I hated this film. I really hated this movie. I think, as I said, pacing's bad. The characters are awful. Like the moment where she's like, they're bonding, and they're like, I feel like I'm not gonna get money though. Yeah, I don't really like that. I don't really like it where I don't get money. I'm like, this bitch is so unlikable. They say that on the cliff or whatever. So it's like, it's badly paced, terrible action sequences, awful characters, badly written. Like, the fucking writing in this movie is terrible. Like, there's a moment where they're climbing at a cliff, right? And they see like this beautiful view. And fucking Xavier goes, oh my god, do you ever see like when like when an old person sees a bed and then they realise, oh, it's my deathbed. That's what I feel like right now. And I'm like, what? And then there's a moment where like, how are we going to get out of this situation? And they're sitting around like figuring out a plan. He's like, oh, I've got some weed. Do you want some? Do you want some weed? Like, and he looks at the little girl and goes, do you smoke weed? Oh, why am I asking? She's fucking 7. Like, how brain dead is this character? You know what I mean? Like the dialogue is so bad, and the flirting is bad. It honestly felt like a CW script. Like, it was so bad. It was like, I would not be surprised. Like, it's It's like a writer of Riverdale came, let's make a Jurassic World film. You know, um, like the writing and dialogue. The dialogue was awful. Like I can't remember most of it now, but the Raptors joke was funny in the trailer. It's not even there in the film. So yeah, the dialogue is awful. The editing is awful. The action sequences are fucking terrible. The CGI is atrocious. The movie doesn't look finished at times. The mutant dinosaur is dumb. The movie's boring. Like some of these fantasy ideas are like whatever. Like I knew about the mutant dinosaur going in. It would have been one stupid element, but it wouldn't have like prevented my enjoyment of the film. And I know I might have said in the trailer video that I thought that was cool, but no, fuck this movie. If there's anything I liked about it, I did like some of the cinematography. I thought aesthetically, the movie looks great visually. Like they're a really green, shiny, modern look. The way the flare kind of looks sometimes. The way the water looked as well, like really blue and just nice. Cool. Some of the deaths were cool. I'll admit that. Like some of the scenes where dinosaurs are eating people are always cool, even though they're predictable. It's predictable and fucking just boring and same shit, different day. And you hear the like obviously the original music is great, you know. From the original movies, like some of the acting is great. Um, the movie's terrible. Jokes are terrible. Um, seriousness is terrible. The mother subplot, like the horror with the death of her mother, is only brought up twice. Like it's so dumb. It's just such a bad film. Terrible editing, terrible characters, terrible writing, terrible action at times, awful CGI, boring, same shit, different day. Honestly, I would give this a fucking 2 out of 10. It is fucking terrible. Jurassic World Rebirth, Jurassic World 4, Jurassic Park fucking 7, whatever you want to call it, is terrible. This is the worst Jurassic Park film, Jurassic Park 7, whatever. I hate it. You have that shot in the, where it kind of pans to see the dinosaur, just like whatever. It's in the trailers. You fucking, the T-Rex, I mean, where it kind of pans up and he roars or whatever. They're trying to recapture the magic, they're all in there looking and they see the fucking big tails of the dinosaurs, But it's just shit. And on top of that as well, it doesn't even feel like a Jurassic Park film at times. It actually just does not. You know what I mean? Um, like it's mad to think like 10 years ago, right? Jurassic World came out. 10 years. I didn't think 10 years later there'd be another like that we'd have one in 10 years time as well. Even though we had few in the middle. But yeah, came out of the others with a high and loving them. This one, no, terrible. So that was my movie review of slash rant, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.